minutes until airtime on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue comes with 2 minutes until airtime. Mark, 2 minutes until airtime here on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue will be with 1 minute until airtime. Mark, network stations, we are 1 minute until airtime on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Studios, please start your archive recording. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues during today's broadcast, please call the Appalachian State Studio Hotline at area code 336-831-0827. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime. Mark, 30 seconds until airtime. Once again, stations, if you encounter any issues during the broadcast, please call the App State Studio Hotline at 336-831-0827. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Appalachian Sports Network.
Live from the River Street Ale House, welcome to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield. Coming up, 60 minutes of Mountaineer football conversation and your chance to hear from head coach Shawn Clark. Mountaineer Talk is brought to you by the Allen Tate Companies. Hey Mountaineers, Allen Tate Realtors is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call Allen Tate today for all your real estate needs. Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, the official soft drink of your App State Mountaineers. And by UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward. Now, to get things underway, here's the voice of the Mountaineers, Adam Witten.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Mountaineer Talk here on the Appalachian Sports Network. App State back to football this week. After a week off, the Mountaineers will take on the James Madison Dukes on Saturday. It is homecoming. It is Black Saturday. It is Senior Day. It is the final home game of the season. A lot going on this weekend. We got a lot to talk about on tonight's show. Shawn Clark is joining us as always. We'll talk to him in just a moment. We also have the safeties night tonight. We have our defensive coordinator and our safeties coach, Scott Sloan, joining us at the bottom of the hour, and our player guest will be safety DJ Burks. As a reminder, if you want to be a part of the show, you can do so in a variety of ways. You can use the hashtag Mountaineer Talk on Twitter. You can email us, mountaineertalk@gmail.com. You can text us. The text line is 828-295-2063. We're joining you on a new tonight, Monday night, because we've got network coverage of App State men's basketball tomorrow night at the Home Center against Queens. So we're joining you on a Monday night for Mountaineer Talk, back to our Tuesday night show next week for the Georgia Southern week. All right, we're joined by head coach Shawn Clark. His comments brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. Coach, how are you?
Doing good, Adam. It's Monday night's a little bit different, but again, another great crowd. So again, it's getting back to regular work week. Last week we were off, like you mentioned earlier, had a chance to practice and get some guys healthy and also go out recruiting. So we had a chance to come back on Sunday, had a spirited practice. We're off today and getting back into our normal routine this week. So it's been a great week so far, and look forward to playing on Saturday as we honor 20 seniors that's given their all for App State and for our football program. And again, it's going to be a great day. Homecoming, like you said, Black Saturday, and that's always special in the mountain. So looking forward to getting started this week.
Black Saturday, when did that really become a tradition? What was that like during your playing days, the Black Saturday idea? Every Saturday was kind of Black Saturday. It wasn't really one Saturday thing, but...
We only had 2 uniforms when I played, so we're very fortunate. Doug's given us multiple uniforms to have, but that was just something that was big for us. That's something we took a hold of, and it meant something to us. So it's good to have Black Saturday back, and I like the traditional all-black uniforms. If it was my choice, I'd wear all black every single week. But again, it's something our players, our fans, people in the community get behind, and again, that's something great that App State football does.
So you hadn't had a true bye week since you became the head coach here at App State. You just had your second true bye week of the season. Now, it worked out pretty well the last time we had a scheduled bye week. You came out, you won against Georgia State, and then you won against Old Dominion. Were you trying to replicate some of the things that you did during that previous bye week that you put into practice this time?
Yeah, again, we've had 2 bye weeks. We have 2 Thursday night games also, so it's kind of been a little bit different in some ways. But, to get back and, you have some time to really self-reflect. And I mentioned this last week, things you do good, things you do improve on, and to get guys healthy. This couldn't happen at a better time for us to get some guys healthy, some bangs and bruises. We expect to get some players back. But, again, it's really getting back to fundamentals during the bye week and really getting started on JMU, a quicker start on James Madison.
And I assume you got back to a normal game week preparation with practice yesterday and then off today?
We did, because we get the players off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so we go out recruiting. So Sunday was a little bit longer practice. We're in what we call shells, upper we have your shoulder pads on, no pants, and I got a little more hitting in this Sunday, and then we'll be on shells tomorrow. We'll back up down on Wednesday just to make sure we're fresh on Sunday. So we had a chance to work on tackling, blocking, and getting off blocks and block destruction. So it was a good practice for us and a chance for us to have a physical practice.
I know a lot of this probably falls to Coach Matt Greenhall and his staff, but what do you give the players to work on to do while they're off practice for consecutive days, while the coaches are out recruiting? But what do you have the players focusing on during some of that time off, at least away from the team practice field?
Right. There's no such thing as really off when you're a college football player. So, they worked out on Tuesday and Thursday, had an early workout on Thursday, and then we wanted to get a chance to get away for a little bit. So kids didn't have class on Friday, could leave Friday morning after breakfast check, and then have Saturday off to really be a normal person for a weekend and see what college NBA looks like from your couch. So it was really a chance for us to get them away, get them a refresh. And I think it showed yesterday at practice. It was more lively at practice. They had more pep to their step, and we know what's at stake. We need to go out and win this game and in front of our crowds. We have a great home field advantage, and again, so I'm very proud of our fans, our students, the way they support us week in and week out.
Senior Day, what has that been like for you traditionally as a head coach? And it's been different because Senior Day kind of takes on a different meaning ever since COVID came around, and the idea of super seniors. You got 5th-year guys, you got 4th-year guys, you got 6th and sometimes 7th-year guys at various programs. But what does Senior Day kind of mean to you now?
Well, it can be emotional in ways because, again, these kids gave their all for App State for, some 5 years, like I mentioned, some 7 and some 2 with transfers. But you have to just be thankful for what they've done for our program. So you thank them, thank their parents, give them a hug, and as they walk out and get recognized by our fans, then you have to flip the switch. You have a job to do. Yeah. So it can be emotional at times. These games are bittersweet in some ways, but again, just another way to say thank you for giving your all for Appalachian State.
How would you describe the demeanor of the team when they showed back up for that first practice yesterday after having the bye week?
Like I mentioned, it was a spirited practice, and we have a task at hand. We know what we have to get done. We dug ourselves in the hole. We have to get it fixed. So, again, they were laser focused. I thought they were better in meetings. They were better in walkthroughs. And then when practice came around, we really looked faster at practice. So anytime you get a chance to get off your feet for a couple of days and get away and get back to practice, I think that's a good thing sometimes.
How did you spend your weekend? I know there was recruiting, but you go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's always recruiting every day, whether you're out of town or in town. There's always some version of recruiting that happens on a daily basis. But how did you spend your Saturday?
Well, Thursday I had a chance to watch my son play middle school basketball, so that was fun. Friday went recruiting, and then Saturday I just had a chance to do some yard work. I had a big honey-do list. I have a new backpack blower my wife got for Christmas for me. It's early Christmas gift, so I had the chance to blow some leaves and just kind of relax a little bit, spend some time with my wife and my kids, and enjoy a night. So the longer you're in this, the older you get, the earlier you go to bed. So I think I was in bed by a halftime of the Georgia-Tennessee game.
Okay. We have one of those backpack blowers. It's a game changer. We get a lot of leaves at our house as well. My wife is trying to coerce me into buying one of those battery-powered small leaf blowers just for the driveway. I don't want to do that. I said, let me show you how to use the backpack blower, but I don't know. Maybe I need a third-party mediator here.
Yeah, get you a Husqvarna. Has more power to it. It goes longer, and you can buy the pre-mixed fuel. So you can't do the battery backup. It goes out too quick.
I agree. But I thought maybe I would give her someone else in her corner. She might be listening right now on her way back from my son's basketball practice, but sorry, dear. Hate to break the news to you.
Husqvarna, that's the way to go.
But just any backpack blower. I mean, they're game changers. They really are. They're fun to use. I really enjoy them. Get some noise-canceling headphones as well, and that way you can listen to reruns of Mountaineer Talk while you're blowing leaves.
You have two sons, so you can get one, a handheld one for them, and you guys have a little family time out there.
And get one with the rake as well. All right, we're just getting started on Mountaineer Talk, not Leaf Talk, Mountaineer Talk here tonight. We've got App State and JMU coming up on Saturday. 2:30 is our kickoff. 12:30 is our pregame coverage from Kid Brewer Stadium. When we come back, we will get to your questions for Shawn Clark, and then in our third segment, we'll break down Saturday's opponent, the JMU Dukes, coming to town for a 2:30 kickoff on Saturday. Hey, Mountaineers, Alan Tate is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call Alan Tate today for all your real estate needs. Come on back to River Street Ale House for more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after these messages.
Wireless service in the area. With Carolina West Wireless, Mountaineers get the most reliable coverage on campus and across the country with our award-winning high-speed nationwide network. We offer the latest devices and technology at a great value with an exceptional local customer service experience that you deserve. Try us risk-free for 30 days. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Mountaineers.
When you think of winning plays, what comes to mind? An unforgettable day in Ann Arbor, Michigan when a blocked kick made 107,000 fall silent, or a tipped Hail Mary turned into a touchdown. These moments are woven into the storied history of App State football. And just like those plays, Blue Ridge Energy knows a thing or two about making winning moves. We're here to power your life with the resources your family needs, offering savings, quick response times, and a reliability rating of over 99%. At Blue Ridge Energy, we've got the game plan to keep you and your loved ones energized.
Reaches the ball out, and he's in!
More coverage of Mountaineer football after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
What does it mean to be first for teaching? First, we listen. First, we engage. First, we recognize potential. You have what it takes: the drive, the smarts, and the heart to be the kind of educator who changes and inspires lives. 2 million kids are waiting for you, but first, your journey starts right here. Be first. Be an App State teacher. Learn more at firstteach.appstate.edu.
For over 60 years, Daniel Boone Inn has been serving Boone and the High Country delicious family-style meals that take you back to your grandma's table. Whether it's our family-style dinner with our signature fried chicken and country ham biscuits served with traditional Southern vegetables, or our classic Southern breakfast with such favorites as scrambled eggs, local country ham, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, and more, you're sure to feel right at home at the Daniel Boone Inn. So be sure to stop by in pregame, postgame, or let us prepare your next tailgate at The Rock.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. We want to hear from you as well. Tweet us using the hashtag Mountaineer Talk. Now let's head back to your host, Adam Witten.
Welcome back to the show. Glad everybody's here on a special Monday night edition of Mountaineer Talk. It is presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Again, Monday night tonight because we've got basketball tomorrow night. You can catch that on the network with Matt Present, voice of App State basketball, who's in the house tonight on his birthday. Where's Matt at? Where is he? There he is. He acts like he's not paying attention. Happy birthday, Matt. You can listen to him tomorrow on coverage of the basketball game, App State and Queens. All right, we're visiting with head coach Shawn Clark. His comments brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. Ready to get started?
Let's go.
Okay, we've got a text message question to start us off at 828-295-2063. This is from John, and he says, given the complexity of our offensive and defensive schemes, does bringing in players from the portal that are unfamiliar with the system can it hinder the effectiveness? How do you get players acclimated to the system when they're coming in from a totally different scheme at another school?
Well, I do think football can be complex if you let it, and we try to make things as simple as we possibly can. And one thing I look at as a coach, to me, a great coach has to be a great teacher. So you have to be able to teach different people and really teach to your lowest denominator to make things simple. So I don't think it makes that big of a difference. Again, most of the guys we come in January, so that's the whole spring practice, summer workouts, summer OTAs, and you have fall camp. So I don't think that really hinders it. And again, I think we take a lot of pride in getting good coaches, again, who are good teachers.
Got another question on our text line, 828-295-2063. He said, you mentioned simplifying things on defense in last week's show, and he wants to know what spawned that change in philosophy defensively.
Well, I don't think we've been too complex on defense, but especially during the bye week, I told Coach Sloan I wanted 2 calls, so our kids know exactly where to go, where to fit. But again, it comes down to defense. You have to react and go and pull your trigger, and if you know exactly where to go, what to do. And again, defenses have so much complexity to it because what offenses can do now. You shift, trade, motion, unbalance, what we call fib, formation of the boundary. Those are all different checks. So again, there's a lot of things that go into that. What we call your toolbox. So we try to take the toolbox and shrink it down just to a hammer and a screwdriver instead of every tool out there. So that was one of the deals we want to do, is simplify things so our kids can play fast.
I don't know how we get into items you buy at a hardware store is the theme of our conversation tonight. We got leaf blowers, we got hammers, we got screwdrivers. We'll see what else we can throw into the mix here in a little bit.
We can always throw more.
We can, yeah. Maybe we'll get a good good mulch spreader or something, or a seed spreader. All right, email question, mountaineertalk@gmail.com, wanting to know any injury updates for this week.
Yes, Kanye Roberts, he's going to be out for this week. Eli Wilson's going to be questionable. We hope we get David Larkin back. Michael Hughes will be questionable as well. He did return to play, kicked a little bit on Sunday, so it's really going to depend on how he kicks on Tuesday and Wednesday before we make a decision. So I think we're getting some linemen back who have been banged up a little bit, who've played through some bangs and bruises. But this is going to be the healthiest we've been in a couple of weeks, so that's important. Haywood's going to be back. Anderson Castle practiced on Sunday, so we're getting some guys back at the right time to go out there and play our very best on Saturday.
Yeah, I think what you just said there at the end has got to be good news for a lot of people listening. That it gets some much needed depth back at that running back position, which Amani Marshall's done a fantastic job the last 2 weeks, but ideally you'd like to have some more depth there available.
Yeah, Amani's done great, but again, over time it takes a toll on you, so we have to make sure we get the roles from running backs in. I think Amani's done a great job, and he's run the ball fast. He's run the ball physical, getting yards with their contact. But in the Coastal Carolina game, in the third and fourth quarter, he was running the ball well, but he needed a blow sometimes, and that's just how it goes. I mean, you have to make sure you have depth. That's something we've always prided ourselves in that position to have depth. This is just one of those awkward years, if you will, to say we've been banged up in that position as well.
I asked you this question last week about Caden Robinson and how that role might be filled at that slot receiver position, but we didn't really talk about his role as the punt returner. And he's out there every time the other team's punting the ball. What do you look at for that particular position?
Well, that's something we do practice. I mean, we have multiple guys who return the ball. Mekhi Jackson's been the backup the whole time. Jose Leon, even though he's redshirt right now, he was the third guy, so he's the backup to Mekhi now. So I feel comfortable with those guys. Again, there's nothing like game reps, but I mean, we try to make it as game-like as we can in practice. Coach Dawson does a good job with those players of having distraction drills when that's happening. So I feel comfortable with that. Again, it's supposed to be a little bit windy on Saturday. Last I looked, from the 30s and 20s with high wind gusts. So we have to be very smart with how we do things. And the most important thing is the football. So if you can't get to it, you can't make a great decision. You got to let it bounce and play the next play.
Yeah. All right. Final question is on Facebook. This is from Trevor, and he wants to know how you disseminate the tradition of the program to the current players on the team. How do you make sure that people kind of understand what's been built here?
Well, you talk about it throughout fall camp, and every night we have team meetings. We try to hit a different part of the program, the history, the tradition, how many national championships we won, how many conference championships, how many former NFL players we've had, because there's a lot of pride in there. I mean, players that came before us and players that come after us. You have to know the tradition, and again, it's something that we're very proud of, and we talk about it. We're not going to hide that. We have our All-American wall. We as recruits come down there, we want your picture on this wall one day. Mm-hmm. So again, just very thankful for all the players that built this, players and coaches that built the tradition from the years past, and we have to carry on that tradition as it goes forward.
All right, thank you everyone for your questions. If you have them for Scott Sloan or DJ Burks, our guests coming up later in the show, you can fire away on Twitter, email, text, and our Facebook live stream. Want to let you know that our show tonight brought to you in part by Mountaineer Mania right there on King Street. It is alumni owned and operated by Preston Powell, class of 2001, and they are Boone's longest running team store of 43 years. Not only the largest selection of App State Nike products in town, but their hat bar has the biggest selection of App State headwear under one roof. Go check it out. Brand new renovation in there. Looks fantastic. That is Mountaineer Mania right here in Boone on King Street. When we come back, we will get into our opponent on Saturday, the James Madison Dukes. That's when we return to River Street Ale House for more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after these messages.
It's Apple. When I becomes we, and we live every day for Saturdays. Well, and a couple of Thursdays. It's when The Rock is the loudest place on planet Earth, and every fan in the high country reaches for delicious Pepsi all season long. Pepsi picks us up so we can tailgate longer and cheer louder. It refreshes so we can always be a winning, a grinning, and a feeling fine. So grab a Pepsi and roll Nears, proud sponsor of App State football.
On game day, there's nothing like tailgating, touchdowns, and Twisted Tea hard iced tea. Twisted Tea goes down smooth and tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Cool, refreshing, and a 5% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea hard iced tea. Look for the bright yellow cans wherever you buy beer. Keep it twisted. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
It is great to be a Mountaineer.
The home of the Mountaineers. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Mountaineer football is back, which means it's time to fire up those grills and tailgate. The grilling experts at Appalachian Energy and G&B Energy would like to remind you of a few helpful tips when heading out to your cookout this season. Remember that it's okay to bring your own sauces. Always expect the grill master to provide meat, but bring your own sides and beverages. And last but not least, do not touch the grill. For more grilling tips and to learn more about Appalachian Energy and G&B Energy Tailgater of the Year contest, visit us at gbenergy.com.
Hey fans, this is Wayne Cook, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country every week during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way to the national championship game in January. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you'd love to get your podcasts. And be sure to follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Now back to River Street Ale House and the voice of the Mountaineers, Adam Witten.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk, live on the Appalachian Sports Network, special Monday night edition because we've got network coverage of men's basketball tomorrow night. And we're talking App State and JMU. Mountaineers and Dukes will kick off 2:30 on Saturday at Kid Brewer Stadium. Coach Clark's comments tonight brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. All right, before we get into the Dukes, we, of course, want to tell you about one of our favorite things we get to discuss on the show, which is the official beef of App State football. That is Goddard Family Farms, featuring a premium farm-to-table product sustainably grown in the heart of the mountains, shipped directly to your door. You and your tailgate can now have the beef that fuels the black and gold on game day. Visit GoddardFamilyFarms.com for all the details on how to hashtag eat like a Mountaineer. You ever put a steak on a sandwich? Like, I know we talk a lot of times, like, you put a steak on the grill, you put it on your plate, you got to let it rest for 5 minutes first, right, before you cut into it. But you ever go, maybe make yourself like a nice Philly cheesesteak or something like that?
No, I haven't. But maybe the leftovers, put it on the sandwich, slice of cheese, and call it a day. A little Duke's mayo and move on with it. But no, when I'm cooking a steak, I want to get a nice ribeye or a nice fillet and smoke that thing at the right temperature.
You just want to put your fork in it, and no bread, no nothing.
That's right.
You don't need the grilled peppers or onions or.
No, just go right to it. Especially with Goddard Family Farms, their steaks you can cut with a fork, so nice and tender. So I go out and buy me a Goddard steak when you get a chance.
That was well done.
Still waiting for that.
This before.
I'm still waiting for that shipment, Derek. So we need that as soon as you can. All right.
Well, after that proclamation, I think Derek has no choice but to send you a fresh batch. All right, let's talk JMU. The Dukes are coming in at 8-2. They are coming off 3 straight victories, most recently at Old Dominion last Saturday when they won 35-32. Kurt Signetti is no longer the coach. We know what he's doing at Indiana right now. They're having a great season. Bob Chesney is their new head coach. He comes in from Holy Cross, where he led them to great success, playoff appearance right before he took the job here at JMU, brought his staff, brought a lot of players with him from Holy Cross, and they're having a good season. But tell us a little bit of the 30,000-foot view on this JMU team.
No, Bob's done a great job with his program, taking over from Coach Ignetti, and he had a lot of turnover. He had to go replace a lot of players that made plays for their team. But the one thing that sticks out for me is their turnover percentage. They think they're second in the country in turnovers and third in getting turnovers. So which really puts you at the top. So again, they just do a really good job on defense as far as interceptions, creating havoc up front, and tackles for loss. And on offense, they don't turn the football over. The quarterback does a great job of throwing the check downs, getting the open guy, and when it's not there, he throws it away. So that's probably the most impressive thing is just the turnover percentage. And then you look on both sides of the ball. They're coached well. They have a great scheme. The quarterback can run the football, which gives an extra dimension to it. So we have to do a great job on Saturday. We have to keep the quarterback in the pocket, and there's really not just one person he throws the football to. I mean, most of the targets are spread out. I mean, and the tight end to the running running back to their X or Z receiver. So a lot of weapons out there. He does a great job getting the ball in his hands quick. They haven't given up many sacks this year because he gets rid of the ball so fast. And, defensively, they have two great defensive ends who rush the passer. I think they're number one in our conference in sacks. And they have two big defensive tackles who are long, uses their hands very well, and they're very, very good on the back end.
Yep. All right, let's start with the offense and dig in a little bit deeper. And I want to specifically ask you, first of all, about the guy you just mentioned. The quarterback is number 14, Alonzo Barnett III. He's from Grimsley High School, which is in Greensboro, so he's here from the state of North Carolina. He takes over for Jordan McLeod, who was the Conference Player of the Year a year ago before transferring to Texas State. What does he do so well? You mentioned he doesn't make mistakes, doesn't take a lot of snaps. I mean, he's 22 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, but completion percentage at 59%, which isn't very high for a quarterback. But like you said, if he is missing, it's not an interceptable pass. He's not turning it over and making at least good decisions with the ball.
No, you watch the tape, and we'll go back and watch the TV copy and also watch the copy that we get from DV Sport. But he has that calm, collective demeanor to him, and he doesn't get rattled. Even he played in the big-time games, he plays very composed, and like I mentioned earlier, he just gets the ball in his hand quick. Looks like a great teammate, and then he's an extra dimension to their team. And again, I'm not trying to compare quarterbacks. I think this kid's better than the one we had last year. I mean, it's the way he plays the football game, and he can run the ball as well. So we have to do a great job of really reading our keys, keep him in the pocket, and try to make him as one-dimensional as we possibly can.
How about the running game? I mean, you mentioned that they spread it out to a lot of different receivers, but they lost a couple of running backs earlier in the season, so they're down 2 running backs. But the 2 guys they're using right now, Wayne Knight, George Pettaway, are 2 guys that they're mostly rotating. Is it fair to say that they don't necessarily rotate a lot by series, but they might bring in someone like Pettaway as more of their closer in a game? How are they rotating the running backs?
Yeah, you really can't get a feel of how they're rotating those players. There's 2 good running backs, and again, they run physical. One person brings them down, and again, really that second that starts up front with their offensive line, how well they block, and then the one thing they do as well, they'll spread you out and go empty sets where there's no back in the backfield, and the quarterback's a viable runner. Yeah, they've gotten a lot of yards this year, just spread going empty. So you have to, what are you going to do? Are you going to play coverage? You're going to try to stop the run. So we got to do a good job with our defensive line, reading our keys. Are we going to get into a 4-man front or a 3-man front? But when it's time to get to the quarterback, we have to get to the quarterback because he's calm under pressure.
Yeah, in the ODU game, Barnett only threw for 192 yards, but he ran 13 times for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Shows what he can do as a dual threat quarterback. All right, you mentioned their defense and plus 19 in turnover margin, which is a massive number. 32 sacks on the year. That's first in the conference. 70 tackles for loss. That's first in the conference. What is it about their defense that gets them so many havoc plays?
They have a great. They do a really good job on first down. So for us, we have to be successful on first down because once they get you behind the chains, I think their average third down is 8.4 yards. That's their average on third down. So and when you do that, you can really pin your ears back coming after the quarterback. But they do a really good job of really overloading one side and then bringing the pressure from the other side. So there are some keys and some tendencies we can look at to try to negate that. But again, it's really they're good on first down. So we have to do a really good job of being intentional, having great positive yards on first and second down. So we're not in third and long all day long.
Yeah, 42% on third down for JMU. So that's not a terribly high number. That's about middle of the pack in the Sun Belt. To your point of if you can get them in those third and intermediate to longer situations, maybe you've got a better chance defensively against them. All right, Senior Day, Black Saturday, homecoming, everything going to be around this game on Saturday, which makes it an amazing atmosphere. So I know that your guys are really looking forward to taking the field and playing in front of this crowd one more time this year.
Yeah, one last time play at the Rock in front of our students, our fans. Again, we're very thankful for all you've done this year. It's going to be a great atmosphere to honor those 20 seniors that we have. And again, but before Saturday, make sure you get to Holmes tomorrow night for Coach Kearns to take on Queens. So again, expect big things from Coach this year, but it's going to be a great week of App State sports, and again, it starts tomorrow night, and then it's going to end on Saturday. So looking forward to it. Just again, thank you to the fans for all you've done. Give us the home field advantage this year.
Yeah, Wednesday for women's basketball and Coach Sharp. We got Friday night wrestling against West Virginia at Varsity Gym. Basketball doubleheader on Sunday. Volleyball's in the Sun Belt tournament on the road. This is a huge week for App State sports. So.
Mountaineers versus Mountaineers Friday night at Varsity Gymnasium.
I like the Mountaineers' chances.
I do. Mountaineers are going to win.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, that's Shawn Clark joining us. Appreciate it, man.
Adam, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll see him on Saturday. That's head coach Shawn Clark. Stay tuned when we come back. Defensive coordinator Scott Sloan joins the show. That's when we return to River Street Ale House for more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after this.
When you think mind, an unforgettable day in Ann Arbor, Michigan, when a blocked kick made 107,000 fall silent, or a tipped Hail Mary turned into a touchdown. These moments are woven into the storied history of App State football. And just like those plays, Blue Ridge Energy knows a thing or two about making winning moves. We're here to power your life with the resources your family needs, offering savings, quick response times, and a reliability rating of over 99%. At Blue Ridge Energy, we've got the game plan to keep you and your loved ones energized.
James River Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer dedicated to a full line of residential, commercial, agriculture, construction, and forestry products in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. With local locations in Wilkesboro, Newton, Statesville, and throughout the Carolinas and Virginia, James River Equipment is right around the corner and there for you. For more information, visit jamesriverequipment.com today.
Reaches the ball out, and he's in! More coverage of Mountaineer football after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
You, nature lover. Ever heard of us? We're Boone, North Carolina. High up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, with vistas that go on forever. Adventure that never stops, and challenges you've yet to try. We've got every outdoor pursuit you can imagine, and cozy lodging. Explore Boone.
Hey Mountaineer fans, did you know UNC Health Caldwell proudly serves the high country by providing services like women's health, primary and urgent care, cancer care, spine care, urology, and more? When you or a loved one receives care at UNC Health Caldwell, count on compassionate patient-centered care from a skilled team of healthcare providers. For more information on healthcare services from Blowing Rock to Hickory, visit www.caldwellmemorial.org.
Back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk live on the Appalachian Sports Network. Great crowd here at River Street Ale House for a special Monday night edition of the program. And we know you're enjoying your time here at River Street Ale House. All these fine folks are, as they do every week on Mountaineer Talk. But we also want to make sure you check out Town Tavern Blowing Rock in Boone, or in Blowing Rock, I should say, for a great dining experience. They're open for lunch, dinner, and later, and have 19 flat screen TVs to catch the game. They also boast the largest outdoor dining area in the high country, so make sure you stop by Town Tavern Blowing Rock on your next trip to the high country. All right, everyone, please welcome our next guest. He is our defensive coordinator, safeties coach. Please give it up for Scott Sloan joining the program tonight. How are you, man?
Doing great. How you doing?
Good to see you. So what was your week like last week with just a little bit of practice, a lot of recruiting, I'm sure, and maybe a weekend off? I don't know. I mean, there's no like full weekend off, but take us through it. What was the week like last week?
We had practiced, we killed the film Sunday and then Monday game planned a little bit and then practiced Tuesday, Wednesday. As soon as practice was over, hit the road, drove down to Athens, Georgia, got a hotel room about midnight.
Yeah.
Recruited all day Thursday, drove to Atlanta Thursday night, and recruited Friday, and then got back whatever time, late Friday night. So
yeah, don't even remember what time.
Recover Saturday, watch a few games, and then start back up.
You know, I asked this question to Coach Clark last week, but it might be a better question for you because you used to be the recruiting coordinator as a part of your responsibility as a coach on this staff. But that is now different now. There really isn't the double of coach and recruiting coordinator because you got Thomas Gary and that whole team there. For someone like you, how does that make your life different, easier when it comes to recruiting, not having to do a lot of the things that you were doing as recruiting coordinator while you were also trying to coach?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing is just not having to do a lot of the organization and planning, for an entire staff. Thomas and his crew takes lead on all of that and kind of points us in the right direction. Every Monday, since it's not a practice day, we do devote a block of time for recruiting. So even tonight, once we had dinner there at the office, we probably watched about 18 to 20 guys with Thomas and his guys, defensive guys as a defensive staff. So, and we kind of do that on a weekly basis.
Yeah. All right. So in terms of this year and on the field stuff, how would you evaluate how things are right now with the defense? What's kind of your take on the whole thing right now?
The biggest thing is, we've had to, with the early season injuries, was trying to get the right guys in the right place and the right guys on the field. And it took a couple position changes. Took changing, going from the star to a little bit more heavier nickel package. The corner room was probably the deepest as far as depth. And so playing with three of them on the field made sense. It also allowed to play a little bit more man coverage because you got a corner out there on the slot instead of a star or the old school outside linebacker anchor position. So, and then, just working through the D-line injuries, with Marcus and with Kevin Abram Vroin.
Yep.
And then really probably the linebacker spot, getting the linebacker thing straightened out. But feel like with Kyle and Brendan, they were our two most productive guys and needed them on the field together instead of one backing the other one up.
Brendan Harrington looks like he has taken such a massive leap, from my eyes at least. I'm curious your take, but he looks like he has taken such a massive leap over the last few games in the way that he's playing.
He has, and that's it's a testament to him. With the two injuries he had in back-to-back seasons, there's no substitute for being on the field practicing or playing. And when you lose that much practice time, that much playing time with early season-ending injuries like he did week 2, week 3, in those two seasons. But for him to come back the way he has and take ownership and moving to a new position, to the inside backer spot, and then the way he's excelled, it's a testament to his maturity, his football IQ, and really how much football matters. And that's what it comes down to. And to me, that's important, going back to the recruiting piece, is finding guys that truly care about football. It's got to mean something. It's not an extracurricular activity. It's not a hobby. It's something that it's a way of life, when you're playing at this level. And so he is one of those guys that kind of epitomizes that football really means something to him.
Yeah. I don't want to continue to necessarily harp on the injury side because we don't want to ever make it seem like it's an excuse, but how many guys would you estimate are playing in a different position than where maybe they first started or were recruited to play because you've had to do so much shifting around?
There's probably 5 or 6 guys that because those stars, once we started playing more nickel, well, they had to go to a group. And so they ended up moving back into the safety room. And that's why you see guys like Varian Cole and Andre Hamilton both back there in the safety position because they needed a spot to go. Body type wise, the old school anchor was a bigger body, and so they got dumped into the inside linebacker room. But then with the playing as much nickel as we do, then those stars ended up coming into the safety room.
Yeah, and switching just like it was when you switched to the star, the switch to the star or to the nickel from the star was, again, to try to get the best 11 guys on the field, right?
Exactly. As you go through injuries and you say, okay, what's our best 11? Who are those best 11? And you just start listing out names. That's kind of how that came about. And not that the star position is dead, because there is personnel groupings that you do need a star on the field, a bigger, stronger, more physical type guy in that area than a third corner. So the star position is not dead. It's just a matter of a lot of the stuff that we're doing is personnel driven. The bigger the offense gets with more tight ends or extra offensive linemen, things of that nature, then the dog package comes about where both TD and Nate are out there and the nickel's out and the star's out because of the personnel. That the offense is presenting.
Yeah, okay. All right, just getting started here with Coach Scot Sloan. We'll come back with him for a few more minutes and one more segment. That's when we return to River Street Ale House for more of Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge after this.
State University takes the strongest wireless service in the area. With Carolina West Wireless, Mountaineers get the most reliable coverage on campus and across the country with our award-winning high-speed nationwide network. We offer the latest devices and technology at a great value with an exceptional local customer service experience that you deserve. Try us risk-free for 30 days. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Mountaineers.
It's Appalachian State football season when I becomes we, and we live every day for Saturdays. Well, and a couple of Thursdays. It's when the Rock is the loudest place on planet Earth, and every fan in the high country reaches for delicious Pepsi all season long. Pepsi picks us up so we can tailgate longer and cheer louder. It refreshes so we can always be a winning, a grinning, and a feeling fine. So grab a Pepsi and roll Nears, proud sponsor of App State football.
It is great to be a Mountaineer.
The home of the Mountaineers. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Do you know where to find tasty country gourmet foods, sauces, and fixins that are perfect for your tailgate meal? Are you looking for outerwear to stay warm and dry at the game? Do you need to find a thoughtful gift for a good friend? Well, get Yosef to the Mass General Store before the game, after the game, the next time you're in town, or anytime online. Mass Store's friendly staff looks forward to seeing you in person or at massstore.com soon. The Mass Store has been a destination for Mountaineers since 1883.
It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's integrity will be noticed from your very first contact. The clean, professional installation of premium windows, siding, doors, and more are designed to last while leaving your home looking amazing. Window World and their lifetime warranty will always be there when it really matters. They are America's most trusted remodeler and the official exterior remodeler of App State Athletics, because the difference is integrity and always in the details.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk on a special Monday night edition with men's basketball on the network tomorrow night. We're visiting with defensive coordinator Scot Sloan. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll have safety DJ Burks joining the show. Excited to talk to him. And let me just go ahead and start off right there. DJ Burks is a name that we've gotten to know a lot this year because of his increased play. Now he's in a starting role. What can you tell us about that young man?
DJ's a guy that is, I think football is important to him. And one thing that I notice is how engaged he is in the classroom when we have meetings, and a lot of times offers answers to questions or to issues. How do we see playing this? A lot of times he'll chime in with a good idea, and so that lets me know how much he's working from the neck up. And I think those type guys tend to play themselves into playing roles because the game slows down and they can see big picture concepts instead of just what's my assignment. They understand multiple assignments in front of them.
Yeah. I want to ask you another question about the nickel defense. So you've got three corners on the field. You got two outside. You got one maybe covering up a slot guy. How do you determine who to put in those positions? Who to put boundary, who to put field, who to put inside the nickel position? How do you determine what's the best fit there?
Generally, the nickel corner or the slot corner, however you want to call it, that tends to be a quicker twitch, short area type guy because those slots are often off the ball. A lot of times they're motioning. So there's movement pre-snap, and you can't get your hands on them. The outside receivers line up on the ball, and so if you want to press them, you can get your hands on them or reroute them and affect their routes. Whereas that slot, he's got freedom to do a lot of movement, and so you got to have a short area guy that can match up, kind of a twitchy type slot.
Okay. All right. Before we let you go, because we want to make sure we've got some time with DJ Burks as well, give us maybe a couple thoughts, if you could, on the challenge that JMU's offense will present.
They do a really good job of spreading the ball around. When you look at the amount of targets that each of their three receivers have, both outside and the inside slot, all three are within probably 7 or 8 targets. But then you throw the tight end into the mix, 17, and he is right there almost with equal targets. So all 4 of those guys are getting equal opportunity to touch the ball, and then even their running back is not too far behind. I want to say he's got 25 targets. Talk about from a pass standpoint. So They do a good job spreading the ball around. They'll run zone schemes and gap schemes, so those make you really work with your run fits. And like I said, the ball distribution, it's not like you can hone in and say, hey, this is their guy.
Yeah.
Not when all four of those guys have almost equal opportunity as far as their touches and targets.
Yeah, Petaway, the running back you mentioned, he's got 19 catches on the year, which is a good amount for a running back. So, all right, that's a good look at JMU, and thanks for educating us a little bit tonight. I learned a lot. Always do when we get to talk to you when it comes to defense. So
thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Scott Sloan joining us on the show tonight. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll visit with DJ Burks, our player guest. That's when we return to River Street Ale House for more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after this.
Subarus from Modern Subaru of Boone. And when you buy with Go Modern, you can choose your vehicle, value your trade, pick your payments, apply for credit, even complete your entire purchase online. Or just do the parts you want and pick up where you left off at the dealership. Go Modern puts you in control so you can buy where you want, when you want, and how you want. Get started at modernsubaruofboone.com. Proud supporter of App State Athletics.
Tired of sitting on the sidelines because of nagging shoulder, hip, knee, or back pain? Let App Ortho get you back in the game. Offering advanced treatments for shoulder, hip, knee, and back pain, App Ortho offers same-day appointments and telehealth visits. App Ortho is also the official sports medicine and orthopedic provider for App State Athletics. Stop sitting on the sidelines and call App Ortho today. 828-386-2663 or visit apprhs.org.
Reaches the ball out, and he's in!
More coverage of Mountaineer football after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
App State's top-ranked online MBA is designed for you. It's a flexible, accredited, part-time program that works with your busy schedule and allows you to earn your MBA in 2 years. Learn online from the same faculty who teach on campus with the unmatched personalized interaction and support we're known for at Appalachian. Your App State MBA is within reach, wherever you are in life. Take the next step. Apply today for spring, summer, or fall admission at appstate.edu.
Hey y'all, this is Michael Felder, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country every week during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way through the national championship game in January. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to get your favorite podcast. And be sure to follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk on a Monday night, special Monday night show because we got men's basketball on the network tomorrow night. We're here at River Street Ale House, and our show presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. We got our player guest, DJ Burks, coming up in just a moment. Hey, future Mountaineers, if you're enrolled at one of App State's 9 partner community colleges, you can seamlessly transition to App State after you complete your associate degree. This program includes guaranteed admission, dedicated advising, and coordinated financial aid programs. Check it out at aspire.appstate.edu. All right, everyone, please give a warm welcome to our player guest, safety, DJ Burks. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. Great to have you on the show. I want to give him some credit here to begin because Scott Sloan let me in on a little secret. He said, you did some advanced scouting for the show. He went back and watched a previous show from last week to get ready for tonight. How about that for preparation, right? Like a true football player, like a true film rat, I guess you could say, man. Preparation's just, it's part of who you are, I guess, is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so tell me, what is your routine like? How do you approach preparation as an individual? Like, how much time are you spending in the film room? Extra time are you putting in beyond what your schedule is like already?
Yeah, so usually on Mondays we we're off from team activities or whatever, but after class I like to come to the facility and watch some film. Like our coaches put together like an intro tape. So I'll throw that ball on the screen real quick, and then I'll usually watch the previous game as well.
Yeah. Okay, so this is our first chance to really talk to you, especially on this setting. Tell us about your story of how you got to App State. Why was App State the right place to you? What was your story about getting here?
Really the winning tradition. That was like, it really reminded me of what my high school was like. And so being part of that winning tradition, and as well as the fans, I came to a game here, and it really blew me away of how much fan support we have, especially compared to other teams in our conference.
Yeah. I mean, you go on the road, and you really appreciate what we have here.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is it like? I mean, describe the emotion, the feelings that you get when you run out of that tunnel to a sold-out crowd. How do you describe what that feels like?
It's awesome. There's really no words to describe it. Especially running out of the tunnel. Now that they built it, it's been permanent for this year. That's one of my favorite things of game day. It's just running out of the tunnel and seeing the crowd and seeing who's all showed up.
Yeah. Was safety always the position for you?
Yes, sir. I've been playing safety since I was about 8 years old.
Okay.
But I also played quarterback in middle school and a little bit of wide receiver in high school as well.
Ever thought about maybe playing quarterback beyond or a different position beyond what you're playing now?
Not really. But I mean, I've always loved safety, the aspect of being, the last line of defense, and, not really knowing what's coming. Offense, what's coming, the ball, it's not coming to you your way, so you can take a play off. But, playing defense, the excitement of, you never know what's coming.
Yeah.
You have to always be on your toes.
Yeah. Okay, so you answered it a little bit there, but I was going to ask you, what do you like most about playing that position? Is it being that last line of defense, or what are some other things you like about the position?
I mean, I think everybody would say they like getting a pick. Catching the interception is always exciting, especially when you have the ability to, return it for a touchdown. But also being physical, if there's a crossing route, you're a middle of the field player, and, you can, put a good hit on somebody. That's also fun as well.
Let me ask you, how do you have to retrain yourself, I guess, from a fundamental standpoint, knowing that, look, targeting is a big part of the game. They're trying to implement things in the interest of player safety, but that changes how you have to approach things defensively, especially if you're a safety and you're trying to make a hit that might dislodge a ball if it's being caught or make a big tackle. How do you have to retrain yourself to play the position because of some of the rules?
Yeah, growing up, targeting wasn't a thing. So, growing up in, elementary, middle school, or whatever, you always just want to make a big play. So, at this point, it almost comes down to, instincts and what you train on doing. So, it's kind of hard to, pull back or say, I'm going to go lower to avoid the head, neck area. So, it's really difficult to, change your mindset when it comes to, making a play in a ball.
Yeah. All right, we're visiting with DJ Burks. We're going to have one more segment with him. First, we want to let you know that this segment's brought to you by Alumni Hall, the official online store of App State Athletics. Shop the latest and largest selection of App State apparel, hats, Yeti, and all your tailgating gear by visiting Alumni Hall on King Street. Or shop anytime at appstatesports.com or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, the ultimate Mountaineer shopping destination. More with DJ Burks from River Street Ale House, and we return to Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge after these messages.
Mountaineer Talk postgame is presented by Town Tavern Blowing Rock and River Street Ale House, your high country football headquarters. Our great food and drink specials are available throughout the week. Visit us every Thursday for our famous wing night, Mondays for taco night, and Tuesdays for half-price pizzas. Then, as always, we will have all the games on our high-def TVs for a weekend full of football. Come see us at Town Tavern Blowing Rock and River Street Ale House, or visit our newest location, Town Tavern of Banner Elk.
For over 54 years, Greystone Eye's mission has been to preserve the gift of sight and improve lives one patient at a time. Their highly trained team of 15 board-certified ophthalmologists and optometrists includes 8 fellowship-trained subspecialists. They provide the Lincolnton, Hickory, Lenore, and Boone communities with the highest quality eye care possible. So no matter where or how you're viewing the game, Greystone Eye has you covered. Schedule your visit at 828-322-2050 or at greystoneeye.com.
It is great to be a Mountaineer.
The home of the Mountaineers. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Vesco Toyota Lift, family owned and operated, has been the exclusive Toyota forklift distributor serving Western North Carolina for over 40 years. Vesco's service department has the experience to keep your equipment running safely and efficiently. Let Vesco's team of local and resident technicians go to work for your business. We open at 6 a.m. and offer 24/7 emergency service. Vesco rents forklifts, scissor lifts, boom lifts, scrubbers, trailer spotter, burden carrier, and 4-directional combi lifts. Vesco has you covered. Call us today at 1-800-951-3131 or visit us online at vescoforklifts.com. Give your business a big lift today.
Catawba Valley Engineering and Testing is an App State alumni-owned full-service geotechnical engineering, environmental, construction materials testing, and special inspections consulting firm based in Hickory. Maintaining pace with the latest technology and developments allows us to provide cost-effective services. The high number of returning clients reflect their confidence in our staff and our ability to provide quality results. Visit us at cvet.net to learn more. Catawba Valley Engineering and Testing is a proud partner of App State Athletics.
All right, welcome back. It is Mountaineer Talk live on the Appalachian Sports Network. We are with you for about 5 more minutes, and we're excited to visit with DJ Burks for one more segment. App State JMU coming up on Saturday at 2:30, and App State Athletics would like to extend a special thank you to UNC Health Blue Ridge and Carolina West Wireless for their sponsorship of Saturday's game against JMU. Thank you to both of them for their continued support of App State Athletics. All right, DJ Burks is our guest. He's a safety on the App State defense. We were talking to Coach Sloan earlier, and I asked him, how many guys are playing in a different position than maybe what they're used to, where they started their career or even the season, just to get an idea of how much shifting has had to go around because of injuries and whatnot. But you started the year at strong safety, correct?
Yes,
now
sir.
You're playing free safety.
Correct.
Now, that may not seem like a big difference, but how big of a difference is that going from that position to now free safety?
Yeah, it's a big difference because, strong safety is more like the pass game stuff. You're worried about, what's going on to the field. But at free safety, you have to be in tune, more so with the linebackers in the run game as well as the pass. So it's different from that aspect. And also, free safety, you got to be, a little bit more physical because you're in the run fit. And there's also, you're working with different people, so you have to use maybe different words on the field. There's different communication styles that go along with it as well.
All right, got a few questions from the audience that I want to get to before we wrap up here. Neil asked us a few questions, and he says, what's the team's attitude toward the game this week?
We're excited, especially being senior night. We're excited to be here for our last game of the year, last home game of the year. So, we're excited. We're juiced up, especially coming off of a bye week. Guys are going to be fresh. We haven't played in, I think, 16 days, so we're going to be juiced up to play.
Carson says, what's the secondary's main focus for JMU?
Really just containing, they have a bunch of different playmakers. Coach Sloan was saying they have, 3 guys, all 3 receivers can get the ball in space and, really do some damage, as well as a tight end, down in the red zone. So just containing those guys, as well as stopping the run, of course.
All right, outside of football, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not playing football?
Not playing I would say, watching TV or, movies, as well as playing the PlayStation. I like to play, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
NCAA football, of course.
What's the best movie you've seen recently?
Recently? I haven't been into too much movies recently. I'm not too sure on that one.
What's a movie that you'll stop on and watch every time if you see it on TV?
I would say The Batman. The one from I think 2 years ago, especially being around I think
not the Christopher Nolan series or
that one one's that's good as well.
Okay.
But The Batman, I remember seeing that in theaters and this is awesome.
You're a Batman guy, that's not even just that movie, just overall.
Yeah, I like any kind of superhero movie really.
Okay, all right.
I like Marvel, DC, anything really.
I feel like you're gonna play like a superhero on Saturday.
Oh, well, I hope so. I hope you're right about that one.
DJ Burks joining us on the show. Let's give it up for him. Thanks to him. Thank you to Shawn Clark. Thank you to Scott Sloan for joining us on tonight's special Monday night edition of Mountaineer Talk. We got men's basketball at the Home Center, women's basketball at the Home Center Wednesday, men's basketball tomorrow, wrestling Friday, volleyball in the Sun Belt Tournament. We got both basketballs playing on Sunday, and of course, Black Saturday, homecoming, senior day at the Rock for football. 2:30 kickoff, 12:30 our coverage begins on the Appalachian Sports Network. We'll see you back here next Tuesday for Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Ridge. Have a great night.
Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show has been